Hey, good morning and welcome everyone. I call to order this meeting of the Texas Veterans Commission Fund for Veteran Assistance Advisory Committee. The time is now 8:09. At this time, I'd like to take a roll call of the committee members. Mr. Dusty Johnson. Here.
Can you speak into the microphone?
Let's try that again. All right, at this time, I'd like to take roll call of the committee members. Mr. Dusty Johnson.
Present.
Mr. James Murphy.
Here.
Ms. Tori Seals.
Here.
Mr. Omar Price. I'm sorry, Omar Williams. I done changed his names. Mr. Christian Price. Mr. Jason Abashir.
Here.
Ms. Sylvia Hernandez.
Here.
And myself, Mr. Richard Delgado Jr. present. With, 5? 6 members present. We do have a quorum. I'd like to ask committee member Ms. Tori Seals now to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to the U.S. flag. To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And Mr. James Murphy for the Texas pledge.
Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. Amen.
Now I would like to open the floor to any members of the public who wish to provide public comment to the advisory committee members on a matter under its purview. Anyone who wishes to speak must inform the committee via instructions outlined in the meeting announcement. Each speaker will be allotted 5 minutes. When the timer sounds, remarks will be interrupted and must conclude immediately. Please consider at this time for the advisory committee to consider any public comment, but any discussion or deliberation by the advisory committee for matters not posted on the agenda must be limited to placing the item on the agenda on the next agenda meeting. All eligible applicants and representative have been informed that they are be directed to comment at the beginning of the agenda item that relates to their grant. And I'm going to take a moment of privilege and we will be right back. There's a special guest in the room that would like to address the committee. So I'm going to take a quick pause before public comment and we'll be right back with you. All right, thank you for indulging us. So we will now open it up to public comment. Mr. Leos, do we have any public comment in the room today?
Mr. Chair, we do. I will turn it over to Nietzsche Haney, our communications coordinator. She has a sign-in. Again, she will be the timekeeper and will interrupt the speakers at the 5-minute mark. And at this time, I will call the first speaker. Nietzsche.
We have Brian Hawkins with Cove House Emergency Homeless Shelter here to speak.
Thank you. Good morning, committee. I appreciate this opportunity to be here. Our agency is actually applying in all categories, so I'm just going to save you 3 speeches and just put it all together right now. So I appreciate your time. I appreciate the effort and the dedication it takes to invest in this process, and we appreciate you so very much. Cove House is located in Coppers Cove, Texas, sitting at the western gate of Fort Hood, the largest active duty armored installation in the United States. Fort Hood covers 214,000 acres and sits between Killeen and Coppers Cove, a region that has more than 49,000 veterans in Bell County alone. This is not just a military community, it is arguably the densest concentration of active duty soldiers, veterans, and military families in the entire state of Texas. These men and women cycle through combat deployments, carry the invisible wounds of war, and then too often struggle to find the support that they need once they hang up the uniform. We are not asking to serve veterans in the abstract. We are standing at the front door of one of the most veteran-dense corridors in America, and we are asking for tools to serve them. Before I speak about what the Cove House can do, I want to speak about what's happening to men and women who are why we are asking for your help. The numbers do not lie. In a single night in January 2024, there were 1,837 veterans experiencing homelessness in the state of Texas alone. Nationally, nearly 33,000 veterans slept on the street, in cars, and in shelters on that single night. Texas consistently ranks among the top 3 states in the nation for homeless veteran concentration. These men and women who raised their right hand, answered the call, and came home to find that no one was holding the door open for them. But here is the statistic that should stop all of us cold. Homeless veterans are significantly more likely to commit or attempt suicide than their stably housed counterparts, with estimates showing that they're between 2 to over 11 times more likely to experience suicidal ideation or attempt suicide. In 2023, the data indicates it's a 146% higher suicide rate among homeless veterans compared to those who have stable housing. The VA's own 2024 National Veteran Suicide Prevention Report confirmed that in 2022, an average of 17.6 veterans died by suicide every single day in this country. And veterans with homelessness diagnosis were the highest end of that risk curve. This is not just a housing problem, it is a life and death emergency. Here's what gives us hope. The data also tells us that intervention works. When a homeless veteran received targeted housing services, their suicide rate dropped 19% in a single year. Veterans receiving mental health care through VA services saw suicide rates fall more than 30% over the last 2 decades. We know what saves lives. It is stable housing, and it is accessible mental health care. It is dignity. That is exactly what the Cove House exists to provide. With your grant for general assistance, homeless veteran support, Cove House will extend our capacity to provide transitional and supportive housing, getting veterans off the street and into safe, stable environments where healing can begin. With your Housing for Texas Heroes grant for home remodeling and modification, we will serve veterans who are housed but trapped in homes that do not accommodate their service-connected disabilities, injuries, or aging needs. Veterans with your Veterans Mental Health Grant, the Cove House will expand clinical housing, peer support, equine therapy, and wraparound mental health services. Cove House has many MOUs with several support agencies. Finally, on a personal note, I would like to say that I spent many of my 26 years in Copper's Cove as a minister for military families, and I will never forget the times that warriors asked me to commit to notifying their families in the event that something happened to them so they would not hear from strangers. And it weighed on me heavily the true cost of war. Our operations manager is the spouse of a veteran who lives in a world where PTSD and long-term efforts of war are very real. We also have 2 veterans that are interns in our organization, and we take what we do for our veterans very seriously. Thank you for your time today, and I appreciate the work that you do in this effort.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I have Captain Jennifer Phillips signed up, but she has not checked in. Did she come in during the time? And Shakita Johnson, who has also not checked in. Okay, this concludes public comment from who's signed up.
That concludes with public comment section of this.
Veteran Service Office was.
So public comments are we had general public comments. And then for those, again, as stated in the agenda, if you're speaking on your application, we ask you to speak at that time. All right. So as the agenda item here later on today for Veterans County Service Officer and Veterans Treatment Court, before we start, the committee starts deliberation and discussion about those applications, we will call on those that signed up to speak on those agenda items. No, yeah, we have 3 days of discussion. So today is Veterans County Service Officer, Veterans Treatment Court. Tomorrow will be Veterans Mental Health and Housing for Texas Heroes. And then on Thursday, it will be General Assistance.
Thanks, sir.
Yes, sir. All right, so that concludes with public comment section of this meeting. Pending your questions, I hand the meeting back to the chairman.
Thank you. I now call on Ms. Catherine Earn, the Texas Veterans General Counsel, to discuss and remind the committee of motions and amendments to the amendments to the motion process. It's on the side. 1 second. Should be on the top.
Can you hear me now? I'm just going to go over a brief overview of the processes that we use today as we move through the agenda, just to help any newer members of the advisory committee and also members of the public who want to follow along. So as we go through, to begin, a motion is going to be introduced by a member of the committee. Once it's introduced by a member of the committee, another member of the committee will then second it. This brings it to the floor, at which point the committee will discuss it, or if there's no discussion that they want to do, they can bring it to a vote. The vote will tally the yays and nays, and a majority vote will pass the motion. If it ties or fails to reach a majority in some other way, then the motion fails. You will also sometimes have a committee member or staff make a point of order, which is to bring attention to the rules, or a point of information to ask a question. These points are reserved for committee members and for members of staff that are assisting the committee, as there's no public comment during the committee discussions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. The next agenda item is the approval of the minutes from our previous meetings. The meeting minutes were emailed to you, giving you time to read them before today's meeting. Is there a motion to approve the minutes of the January 6th and 7th, 2026 FVA Advisory Committee meeting as presented?
Motion.
I do have a motion from Ms. Seals,
Second.
and I do have a second. All those in favor, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those
Aye.
opposed? Motion passes with 5 yays and 0 nays. Did Ms. Sylvia vote? Because we can't see her. She said yay. Okay, perfect.
Yes.
Thanks. Okay, thank you. Nominations are now open for the position of the committee vice chair. Are there any nominations? Okay, I need help up here, guys. I know one member that's not here was interested in, as chair, I don't want to make that recommendation. So any thoughts on committee members to be vice chair? You can, what? You can?
I'd like to recommend Ms. Seals,
I do have a
or nominate Ms. Seals.
I do have a recommendation of Ms. Seals.
I think if I was intending to recommend Omar for the vice chair, I was expecting to see him today, but can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
So let's start with
So.
Ms. Seals. Do you accept the nomination?
Sure.
Okay. And then Mr. Omar, who is not present, but do have a nomination. So we will now, so those who have been nominated, so then we will have to do a vote for both, correct? Yep. So we'll start with Ms. Seals. The nominee, Ms. Seals, all in favor of Ms. Seals, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank you. All those opposed? Y'all have to, well, yeah, you could say aye, yes, you could say no for yourself, that's fine. Okay, but you all got to vote though, guys. So we had one for, so all those opposed, respond by saying aye.
I can step out of the
Or
room. if
nay.
that would
No, no,
help.
you're fine. So, okay, so let's try this again. So Ms. Seals has been nominated and accepted the nomination. So all those in favor of Ms. Seals being the committee vice chair, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. All those opposed, say no.
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 Okay, motion fails with 1 aye and 3 nays.
I abstained. from
And
voting.
we had 1 abstention. Thank you, ma'am. The nominee Omar, all in favor of Omar for the committee vice chair, respond by saying aye. Aye. 4. All those opposed say no. Motion carries with 4 yeas and 0 nays. Oh, well, I take that back.
I abstain.
Abstain. Okay, thank you. And 1 abstention. Okay, so he is not here. So congratulations to Mr. Omar. He is now the vice chair. That's what happens exactly when you don't show up.
Yep.
So thank y'all for that. That means I don't get a break. That's cool. Okay, so moving to agenda item number 6 is the discussion and action on the recommendations to the commission for the FY27 grant categories. So before we begin the discussion of the recommendations, I would like to ask Mr. Leos to explain the grant review and the approval process that applies to all grant applications that we are considering today, and to briefly outline the discussion materials in the folders prepared for us for this meeting. Mr. Leos.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This meeting is the culmination of this committee's countless hours of reading, considering, scoring, and ranking worthy projects to help veterans and their families across the state of Texas. To recap, what has occurred so far, the FY27 request for application opened October 2nd of last year and closed December 2nd of 2025. Within the open application period, the Grants for Veteran Services Staff, or GVS, hosted 2 informational webinars for potential applicants and placed those recordings of the webinars on the GVS website for on-demand access. Applications were due December 2nd, 2025 through the TVC grant portal known as Flux. And organizations across Texas submitted 377 applications by the deadline. The GVS compliance team conducted eligibility screening for these applications. The ineligible applications went through a series of reviews. I, Director, reviewed the ineligible applications again. If an application was deemed ineligible by me, it was presented to the Executive Director for his review and confirmation of the ineligibility. Organizations were then informed of their ineligible application via USPS. As you can see in the total applications table, 266 applications were deemed eligible to proceed to the next stage of the application process. These eligible applications represent $67 million in funding. The committee has been tasked to recommend $35 million in funding across 4 grant categories and the VCSO funding. The committee's task today is to collectively determine which applications within each category are recommended and non-recommended for the commission to ultimately award funding. The committee's recommendation will be presented to the Texas Veterans Commission at the quarterly meeting on Thursday, May 21st, 2026, at which the commission will make funding decisions for the next grant period. The awarded grants will begin on September 1st, 2026. The GVS staff has provided the committee with a roll-up of all committee members' independent reviews, rankings, and recommendations. You will not see individual committee members' information, rather a consolidated result of all your individual rankings and recommendations. You either recommended or non-recommended the application and then ranked all recommended applications. In addition, you indicated the amount of funding for each application that you recommended. Let's begin with the materials. So the top page. So the top page indicates available. This top page contains 3 tables. The top left table indicates available funding of $35 million and the maximum available funding to allow for full funding of an application to meet the 5-year average funding percentage for the category. The bottom left table illustrates the number of eligible applications per grant program or category and the total amount requested. The table on the right illustrates the past 5 years average funding percentage per grant category. For example, the government code has stated the Veterans County Service Officer has a minimum of 5% for the available funding. The average amount awarded for the past 5 years has been 8.2% of the available funding. Are there any questions before I continue?
Hey, Irv, give me 1 second. We're going to take a quick pause to do some administrative things. So give us a few minutes. We're going to take a quick pause.
So looking at the summary sheet, again, at the very top sheet, the new numbers for available funding is 38 million. The maximum available funding is 38,039,000. So the money goes to 2 million for Veterans County Service Office and an additional 1,039,000 to Veterans Treatment Court. So moving over to the table on the right, you will notice that the Veterans Treatment Court number is now the funding per program, the far right column. Veterans Treatment Court is 4,749,000. The Veterans County Service Office is 4,870,000. Are there any questions before I proceed?
No, I think that deserves a round of applause, you know. Thank you to the team, staff.
More lottery sales, I guess.
More lottery. Additional plug, those numbers keep coming up as you buy Texas lottery. So go and get your tickets. Gamble responsibly, please.
All right, so as we refer to the next page, which is the Veterans County Service Officer roll-up roster in your materials, please follow along as I discuss the sheet. All right, from left to right. So the first column is the count. You'll see the number 1 through 28. How many eligible applications were reviewed? The second column is the recommendation that of how many committee members recommended applications. That particular column will be skewed because you'll see that dark line under 10. That was the original line of where the committee members met the previous funding amount. So that line will move further down, and I believe it is to number 20. Is that correct, Joe? Right, 20? All right, 20. All right, with the new available funding. Obviously, the next row is the category, Veterans County Service Officer, organization name, the county, the amount that was requested, the amount that was recommended, the service category. And remember, the Veterans County Service Officers operate in 3 service categories. You have general assistance, veterans mental health, and Housing for Texas Heroes. All right, so that is a service category in one of those that they're doing. the total number of clients to be served, the service cost per client. Doing the math is how many clients they said they were going to serve divided by how much they're requesting. That is the number that comes in. The amount of indirect cost, the percentage of salary and fringe from the amount requested. And next column is if 75% of the requested amount is going towards client services. If it's a yes, it means 75% or more is going to client services. Counties is how many counties the VCSO is serving or the application is serving. And you'll see the count either 1 through however many counties are serving. And then the next few is how many counties in each region, right? And again, it's that number indicates how many counties each region, and you'll see some that are 1s and 4s and 2s, all right? And that just goes across. The next one is statewide, if the organization serving statewide, and obviously Veterans County Service Officers don't serve statewide. And then the average ranking. That is the average ranking where the committee members, each committee member that recommended had to rank the application, and that is the average of the ranking. And then the last column is the number of recommendations. How many committee members recommended such application? All right, I want to emphasize, any questions thus far?
No.
All right, I want to emphasize that these documents are meant to serve as a discussion aid as you develop the funding recommendations as a committee today. The staff and I will ensure the committee meets the requirements of the RFA. The staff will project a state map showing which counties and regions are served based on applications approved by the recommendation by the committee. The goal, as indicated in the RFA, is to distribute funding across the state based on availability. And I know for the VCSO it's a little bit harder because they're more regional, just certain county, but as we move through the applications from Veterans Mental Health, Housing for Texas Heroes, and General Assistance, that the spread is a lot wider. Michelle Gilbert, Gabby Elena, and Philip Caldwell are documenting the organizations who are recommended to the Commission for Award. At any time, if you have any questions about which applications have been voted on, how much funding has been recommended, or need to view the map, please be recognized by the chair and ask your question. It is important to remember all discussion regarding fiscal year 2027 grants should be limited to this meeting, with your understanding that this is a public meeting. Neither the GVS staff or committee members are allowed to discuss any of the grant recommendations with the public or with any other outside of the public meeting. Committee members, please speak loudly into the microphone so the members of the public can hear your discussion clearly. Avoid side conversations at the table so everyone can hear the primary speaker. When voting, please speak your vote loudly when prompted by the chair. We have staff tracking both the order of the recommendations and the committee members' vote for record. None of the materials provided to the committee and review notes made by the committee members may be released until after the commission makes the final decision on the awards. All materials must be returned to the GVS staff when this meeting adjourns. Pending any questions, I hand this back to the chair.
Hey, thanks, sir. So at this time, we will open the floor to comments regarding Veteran County Service Offices. Mr. Leos, do we have any Veteran County Service Officers for comment in the room today?
Mr. Chair, we do. I will turn it over to our communication coordinator, Nietzsche, as she will call the speakers.
Good morning, everyone. I'm going to start with Alma Zuniga and Rogelio Navarez from Bexar County Commissioners Court. They are going to talk about veteran services peer support, and we'll have 5 minutes once they get to the podium.
Hello? Okay, yes. Okay.
So you cannot hand out materials.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, get those back.
Oh, we're starting. Okay. Good morning. Thank you for allowing us the opportunity to speak and to be heard. My name is Alma Zuniga. I'm a licensed master social worker and a MVPN peer service coordinator and part of the Bexar County Military and Veteran Services team in San Antonio, Texas. According to the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, Bexar County has the largest population of veterans in the state of Texas and the fourth largest of the nation. Because of that, our responsibility and our opportunity for impact is significant. Our department interacts with thousands of veterans each year. In fiscal year 2025 alone, we served 4,345 veterans, and as of fiscal year 2026, we have already supported 3,289 individuals. Working alongside our VSOs and MSOs, Veteran Treatment Court, Bexar County Jail Programs, and community partners, we have been able to identify and support veterans in need of peer support. Over the last 2 grant cycles, we have provided peer support services to 453 eligible clients with participation in 196 peer support activities and events. This also includes providing services to justice-involved veterans. These events foster connection, reduce isolation, and have demonstrated measurable positive outcomes in the lives of the veterans we serve. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to my colleague, Rogelio Narvaez.
Thank you. As you just heard, our programs continue to meet or are closer surpassing our goals. And we are confident those numbers will continue to grow, potentially doubling within the next 2 years. But what those numbers don't capture are the stories. Taking a holistic, non-clinical approach, Ms. Zuniga and I work to ensure that every veteran that we serve has the opportunity to thrive physically, mentally, emotionally, financially, and socially. The initial point of contact made by any member of our department and our peer support team allows us to identify much more. We uncover needs related to employment, financial stability, mental health, and overall well-being. We approach every veteran holistically, meeting them exactly where they are. One example was a veteran who reached out during a moment of crisis. After de-escalating the situation and listening to his concerns, multiple unmet needs were identified. Notably, it was found that he was isolated, so he was referred to our peer support group. He was struggling financially, so our financial team secured rental assistance to keep him housed. He was also significantly underrated at just 10% service connection. Through our veteran service officer, he ultimately received 100% total and permanent disability. He continues to participate in our peer support program. Stories like his reflect what our program truly achieves. We do not just provide peer support, we connect veterans to the full spectrum of resources they need to stabilize, heal, and thrive. What we witnessed has been organic, powerful, and deeply inspiring. A key part of that success is the peer-to-peer model we've used, which includes having peer mentors who have emerged naturally from within the group. We've seen veterans come together and truly embody the idea that no one gets left behind. The connection doesn't stop when our events end. It continues into late night conversations and moments of vulnerability when veterans open up about being in dark places and finding strength in one another. We've seen them show up for each other at court hearings, supporting fellow veterans graduating from Veterans Treatment Court. We've seen them help each other move into new homes, inspiring instead of hiring movers. They visit one another in hospitals, drive each other to appointments, and step in during life's hardest moments without hesitation. They volunteer in the community, reaching out to unhoused veterans, extending the same support they themselves have received. This is not a program where people simply sit together. This is a program where veterans lift each other up no matter the circumstance, whether it's through shared experience or therapeutic activities. What we are building is a community, a mission-ready network of veterans who continue to serve, this time serving each other. The renewal of this grant is critical. Without it, veterans currently thriving and surviving in life would be at risk of losing their new duty station in life with other veterans. With your continued support, we can continue to extend and expand our peer support program and remain ready to meet the growing needs of transitioning service members, veterans, and their families in Bexar County. Thank you.
I would next like to call Antoinette Hunt with El Paso County Veteran Services Office.
They finally have it short for little people. Okay, you ready?
You're ready.
Good morning, Chair and members of the Grant Advisory Committee. I am Antoinette Hunt, Veteran County Service Officer for El Paso County. Thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of El Paso County Veterans Assistance Office and the veterans, families, and surviving spouses we serve through the Texas Veterans Commission Fund for Veterans Assistance Grant. I am here today respectfully to ask for your support in renewing our grant award because El Paso County's funding continues to be a lifeline. For the individuals we serve, this program means the difference between housing instability and homelessness, keeping utilities connected or going without, and maintaining dignity during times of crisis. And right now, the need is greater than ever. Through our community assessment and daily operations, we are seeing firsthand how the rising cost of living is placing an increasing strain on veterans, families, and especially surviving spouses living on a fixed income. Rent, utility, and basic living expenses continue to rise, while many of those we serve rely on disability compensation, Social Security, or limited retirement income that no longer stretches far enough. That growing gap is exactly why this program remains critical. This year has also brought some administrative challenges. As a county government, we operate within strict fiscal controls that includes commissioner court approval timelines, agenda posting requirements, and structured payment processes. These safeguards ensure accountability, but they can also delay the speed of assistance and reporting. Additionally, TVC reporting requirements tied to cleared payments can create a lag between when the assistance is delivered and when it actually reflects in flux. Despite these challenges, our team has remained focused on outcomes. As of mid-April, our office has assisted 170 unduplicated veterans, family members, and surviving spouses, placing us at approximately 68% of our annual performance goal, with a little over $41,000 remaining for the grant year. At this stage, we are intentionally pacing these remaining funds to ensure that they are used responsibly and strategically through the end of the grant year, particularly as many of our partnering agencies have already exhausted their financial assistance resources. That means El Paso County remains one of the few consistent and dependable safety nets still available in our region during the most critical months of the grant cycle. We are especially proud that we are one of the few agencies that consistently serves surviving spouses, ensuring they are not overlooked during times of financial hardship. Our program is built on fiscal responsibility, compliance, and accountability. Every dollar is tracked through county financial systems, reconciled monthly, and aligned with the program guidelines to ensure proper stewardship of public funds. At the same time, we remain mission-focused. Our team operates with a simple guiding principle. If there is a need and we can get to a legal and ethical yes, we will try to help. We also maximize this grant through strong partnerships with the VA Homeless Program, Texas Veterans Network, Project Amistad, Endeavors, and the American GI Forum, ensuring veterans not only receive the financial assistance, but access to long-term support systems. Looking ahead to our upcoming grant year, our application reflects a continued commitment to responsible planning and achievable outcomes. We are requesting $285,000 to serve 200 unduplicated veterans and family members, surviving spouses, employing one full-time employee to manage the grant. We have intentionally adjusted our projections to align with program expectations and ensure we meet performance goals while continuing to serve and provide meaningful, sustained assistance in need. Renewing this grant means we can continue providing critical services like rent, mortgage, utility, and transportation assistance that directly prevents homelessness and stabilizes families in the community. On behalf of El Paso County and those we serve, I respectfully ask for your continued confidence and support and renewal so that we may continue this work. Thank you for your time, your leadership, and your continued commitment to the Texas veterans and their families.
Thank you, Ms. Hunt. I now call Gina Ponce and Ana Corrales from Bexar County Commissioners Court to discuss Help to Vets and financial assistance.
Good morning, all. Thank you for allowing me to speak on behalf of Bexar County Military and Veterans Service Office regarding the TVC Financial Assistance Grant. My name is Gina Ponce, and I'm a Navy veteran and the case manager for the Financial Assistance Program Help to Vets. Currently, we are working on the fiscal year for 2025 and 26, and we've been fortunate enough to receive this grant twice for 2024 and 2025. In fiscal year 2024 and 2025, we assisted 286 clients, unduplicated, comprised of veterans, dependents, and families, dispersing over $278,532 and passed the goal of 270 by 16 veterans. The assistance involved rental, mortgage, utilities, and vehicle repair. Currently, our fiscal year 2025 and 26, we surpassed the TVC goal of 270 and have been able to assist 357 veterans, dependents, and families, which we've dispersed $230,000 and $202. This has provided an additional 87 veterans to receive assistance over the goal. Anna and I are continuing to assist veterans with the current funds we have left, which is about $32,000. Anna and I have established working relationships with many other organizations, and when veteran discharge is not honorable, we're able to assist. We have been coordinating with Mission United, United Way, Salvation Army, SAM Ministries, and the VA social workers to provide assistance to our veterans. We also send every veteran to Sojourn for financial counseling and budgeting, since this gives them a better understanding of their financial situations. Sojourn has been a positive addition since it helps many veterans understand their finances and learn to live within their means. Anna?
Sorry, we didn't practice. So I wanted to read, so we do get reviews, and I wanted to showcase a specific veteran that we assisted. So he wrote, I want to publicly commend Bexar County Military and Veteran Service Offices, specifically Gina and Ana Corrales. As a Marine veteran facing critical housing gap, I needed immediate and competent assistance. Ms. Corrales provided excellent support in facilitating the process, but I want to strictly emphasize the actions of Gina Ponce. Gina did not just process the paperwork. She fought to ensure I wasn't displaced. She treated me with dignity because we read tapes and operated with the urgency my situation required. It is rare to find this level of dedication. Gina and Ana are exactly the kind of people who should be serving veterans. If you were in a tight spot, this is the team you want in your corner. We just thank you for listening to us. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you, everyone. We now have Michael Hernandez, who will speak for the Williamson County Veteran Service Offices.
Good morning. Good morning, committee, members of the public. My name is Michael Hernandez, and I'm the Director of Veteran Services for Williamson County. I come here advocating for a veteran population of approximately 40,000 veterans. That doesn't include their spouses, surviving spouses, and their eligible children. So I tell my leadership that we service a population of approximately 80,000 within that veteran community. Within that, we request a grant of $300,000 that we currently receive, where we have told the Texas Veterans Commission that we will provide services to 180 veteran community members. That includes, like my peers of the other county veteran service offices, we not only provide services to the veteran, but also their eligible dependents, those often forgotten surviving spouses. We were on track essentially to hit 180 per this fiscal grant period. We've already hit that as of last week. So with that being said, like my associates have indicated, the need has significantly increased, not only within Williamson County, but then within across the state of Texas. I know the state emphasizes a county and state relationship, and as a county veteran service officer, we are a trusted resource within the community. So when a veteran community member comes to us, they know that we only have one interest in mind, and that is their success. Because their success is community success, is our success. I can talk about what our grant provides. However, I want to talk about real life scenarios where we have actually come across a veteran in need or a veteran family member, and through this grant, we were able to provide that financial assistance, especially in the time of grief. We know veteran mental health has increased regarding suicide, and I can tell you that Williamson County is no stranger to that, unfortunately. Through this grant, we did have a veteran, unfortunately, lose their life to a battle that we often talk about. That family was not prepared, and through our grant, through the Texas Veterans Commission, we were able to step up and support that family in that time of grief. Here in Texas, we're #1 in veteran population. I like to say we're #1 in veteran action. A lot of veterans say they support, a lot of organizations say they support veterans. I like to say that our county and our state government agencies follow that with our actions. So I humbly request once again to consider our grant. For us, I had a conversation last week with the executive director of the Central Texas VA healthcare system, Mr. Christopher Mayer, who indicated that the Central Texas is the 3rd largest market regarding veteran population. As we know, Texas is now #1 in veteran population. I do expect, along with my colleagues, for our current GDX numbers to be underreporting our veteran community. So once again, I know the current GDX says that we support a current veteran population of 40,000, but we also know that the GDX underreports those numbers. So I tell my colleagues once again that we provide assistance to 80,000 veteran community members. When they come to us for financial assistance, we take care of them 360. Once again, I can talk about a case where an unhoused veteran came to us for financial assistance. They needed food. We were able to provide that food assistance, assist them with VA disability compensation. They walked away about 6 months later with 100% and a retro paycheck of about $42,000. So once again, when they come to our office, yes, they may come for one service, but we take care of them 360. So once again, I humbly request recommendation for our Williamson County community. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Hernandez. I call Ray Herrera, Wilson County Veteran Services, to the podium.
Thank you.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, committee members. My name is Ray Herrera. I'm the Wilson County Veteran Service Officer. I want to talk a little bit about Wilson County. It's a kind of a unique a gem, as I call it. We're bordering Bexar County. As you know, Bexar County is military city, USA, hugest population of military and veterans in the nation. So we're bordering that county. With that, we're getting a lot of overflow, and with that, a demand for services for veterans and their family members. So this grant has been a blessing to our area. Before I took over this office, August of 23, we had a part-time VSO position, and it's the only veteran organization, government organization providing direct services in Wilson County, and still is today. Things have changed over the past 3 years. I now have, we have a full, we're 3 employees now with our office to include because of the grant and that blessing. Now, I just want to go over our mission in Wilson County. Our community-based initiative bridges the gap by providing access to VA healthcare, VA education benefits, VA disability pension services, burial benefits, local resources and referrals, and general assistance, general financial assistance. Our supported programs assist veterans, active duty service members, and eligible dependents, helping to stabilize their quality of life and financial well-being for serving our country. I want to go over a little bit of the data that I have collected just strictly for the grant. Now, when we applied last year, we had the opportunity to come and present here in person. We had some changes within our office, and I had decided maybe to not come present. But lo and behold, we were blessed strictly based off of our application. And I just want to say thank you for FVA for that. But because of that, last expectation of getting approved, we brought our grant personnel, our employee, to handle the grant late. We started in September or August, mid-August, and started implementing that grant in September. We were audited in September. So we had just started and we're audited. We only had one applicant approved at that time during our audit. So we didn't have a lot of data to go off of since then. But since then, we've been able to develop a lot of traction on this grant. So we applied for $215,000 that was approved for. 278 are new constituent contacts via phone, walk-ins, and emails. We had 118 appointments. 34 clients had been approved, and this is from September to December. September, one grant person was approved, October 13, November 9, December 11, and then with a total of just over 25,000. That's from September to December. From January to March, we picked it up. 546 contacts via phone, walk-ins, and emails, 103 new clients, 162 appointments, 40 unduplicated clients from January to March, to a total year-to-date of 82 clients have been approved for this grant. And then I have a breakdown of vehicle, 7,000, utilities, 17,000, mortgage, 32,000, and rent, 12,000 year-to-date, for a total of just over 70,000. Now, out of the 215,000, because of the fringe and our employee that we hired, we had allotted 132,000 for direct services. Now, TVC allows 6,000 per household. So internally, we kind of restrict that a little bit more per applicant, $1,000. If we were to went off of TVC's only policies, we would only help 22. We're at 82 because we capped it at 1,000 each. We were able to do this through community events, newspapers, live interviews, and veteran groups spreading the word. So we just appreciate the support, and we want to continue that partnership and make a huge impact in rural communities, veteran communities like Wilson County. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, that concludes the number of people I have signed up for.
Thank you. And thank you, presenters, for your comments. Mr. Chair, I want to take a quick recess to have a quick discussion with General Counsel.
Okay, thank you. We will convene to address this administrative issue, so we'll be right back. Mr. Irv.
All right, so thank you, commenters again. Thank you, organizations that spoke. Pin in your questions. I'll hand this meeting back to the chairman.
All right, thank you, sir. Now let's begin our discussion recommendations regarding the grant categories on the agenda. The applications for the Veteran County Service Office funding are submitted on the General Assistance, Housing for Texas Heroes, or Veterans Mental Health application as appropriate, and distinguished by the project manager being the Veteran County Service Officer provided in their county. For FY27, 20 of the VSO applications in the General Assistant projects, 2 are non-clinical counsel, and 6 are for Housing Texas Heroes, for a total of 28 VSO applications. Per the commission's conflict of interest policy, which we all have signed an acknowledgement, if you have a conflict with the applicant being considered for funding, you must recuse yourself from the entire discussion and recommendation process for this grant category. There are 28 eligible VSO applications this year requesting $6,528,000. The statutory requirement that we set aside at least 5% of the total funding opportunity for the VCSO grants. This amounts to, we changed this. So it's an increase to $4,870,000 of the 38 million opportunity. Based off the 5-year average of 8.2%, the amount is, because we updated it, sorry for my. That's not-
We kicked it up. We didn't do that calculation.
Yeah.
We only did the 4.8.
Okay, so based on the committee members' preliminary rankings, and this is gonna change a little bit. So we're gonna do some movement because we did get some additional funding. So are we gonna say 20?
Or 11, so you're looking at this.
Okay. So 11 of the applications were unanimously recommended. 10 applications were recommended by 7 of 8. 5 were recommended by 6 of 8 members. 1 application was recommended by 5 of 8 members. And 1 application was recommended by less than half of the members. Are there any comments or discussions before giving the committee time to review the Veteran County Service Officer documentation? We will take 10 minutes to review the documents in front of us. All right, so committee members, is there a motion to recommend the Why, no, that's during discussion. No, it's during the motion. So I know what I'm doing up here. Committee members, is there a motion to recommend applications for funding?
I so move.
I have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
I do have a motion and a second. Now, is there any discussion?
Yes. Am I on?
Mhm.
Okay. Are all of you have the requests,
Yeah, it's on.
it's on. Okay, we're going to do this way. Oh, yeah, you can hear me now. So I'm showing the amount requested
Mhm.
and I'm showing the amount recommended.
I see. Okay.
They match all the way across.
Right.
What was that intended, or was I the only one that sat back and did okay, in order to make sure that more are funded, recommend a different amount?
If a majority of the committee members did not recommend a reduced amount, it was not on there. So we hope you brought your notes to state your case of why an organization currently right now, a county application, should receive less funding. And that can be something you all discuss and obviously motion and vote on.
To answer your question. So I would say yes.
Okay.
Yep. Dusty, do you have questions, sir?
Yes, I think along the same lines. I had a couple of things about the handout that we have today. This one right here. Okay, so I did see that if all 8 recommended it,
Mhm.
they took a priority on this list.
Yes, sir.
And then within those rankings, though, if everybody recommended it, the average rank is included for all 8.
That is correct.
And then there was no change regarding, can y'all hear me? And then there was no change regarding the amounts that were requested.
Correct.
Even though, I guess to Tori's point, there may have been individuals who recommended less, even if they recommended. I think I might have been one of those. I'm trying to find my notes here. And then, I see that, and I think I understand that. Also, along the lines of what Tori was saying is that if you had a concept of, going through the commission's priorities about, are you getting it, across the state? Are you, making sure that we're trying to spread the money around, that kind of thing? That might have changed, your consideration of how much you wanted to recommend granting.
Mhm.
Okay, and then I see, I see that, and you do that for the top 10, and you've locked up a lot, or now you go down to 20. It would lock up those first 20, right?
Right. So the original funding that we had, that would have lined there.
And now it's down to
and now it's down to 20.
Okay. And then the second set of, where you have 7 recommendations, 7 people recommended. Some of the ranking of the 7, their averages show them pretty, they would obviously be higher. If it had been all 8, they would be higher up. They ranked them higher up, right? You have like if you look at,
Correct.
read from there.
And that is the big confusion that most people get is, again, and remember, you have.
No, I'm not confused. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
So one of the key things here is because 8 members, right, recommended these applications, right? So they have, if 8 members recommended an application, 1 member, that could have been their number 1, and the other 8, that could have been their 28th application, right? Their 28th ranking.
That's right.
So that's why the average. And the same point, you carry that over to 7, right? And you have that first number 7 ranking is average ranking of 8.3, which is lower than that 9.1 from 8. So it would appear that a few committee members ranked that rather high.
Mhm.
So that is why it looks askew. But again, we're taking the average ranking from the amount of committee members. So that's, and again, I understand it looks askew because how come, because again, if you look at the one all the way at the bottom for number, at the bottom, 2 people recommended it and its ranking is 5.8. So somebody ranked, the 2 members that recommended that ranked it pretty high.
Right. And I'm pretty sure I know why, because of the location of those counties.
Yep.
Areas that are probably historically undergranted, probably. As I think sort of the valley counties, that you'll see that 6 recommended, and of the 6's averages, they're pretty high up for Zapata and Hidalgo County. Because I'm pretty sure because of the location and the what I think we all perceive as a more needy area of population, likely.
Right.
Which brings us to the dilemma, right, of recommending.
Correct.
And how much.
So again, the committee is here to discuss and deliberate and vote as a committee. You can, and in previous years, let me start with this. In previous years, the committee would recommend in tranches, right? They would say, hey, where's the money line? Or they would vote all the ones, hey, all of us agreed that all of these should be funded, so they would vote for that. unanimously same amount of requested funding in everything, unless in very rare cases that somebody recommend less for a particular one of those unanimous ones. However, we are open today, and this is the way we see it proceeding, is you can do tranches one at a time, and it doesn't have to be one at a time from the top. It could be from anywhere on this list for the VCSO. All right. So again, if you want to state your case for a particular application, by all means, and convince the rest of the committee members that you should vote on that, then you're privileged to do that.
All right, so with that discussion in play, the motion was to approve, and now you could amend your motion to approve based on how we want to do this. So as I've mentioned, we can do like all of, to line 11, which would be all the ones that were unanimously recommended. And then we can talk either individually, or we can do, well, we're gonna have to do that because we can't go to 7 because 7 is over the threshold. So we'll have some play, and we just got to make sure we keep the numbers correct. So if you want to restate your motion, on how you want to do it, and then we'll go
Sure.
from there.
I guess I think I felt like I moved to discuss it, and not to discuss it, which I think we have.
Right.
I think that because of the number here of applications, our notes, and I think our views, that we could go through. For example, I would like to move. No one has to second this, obviously.
Just a point of order. We do have a motion currently on the floor. That motion needs to be voted on before we move to another motion. If we want to amend the motion, the amendment needs to be specific which words from the first motion are being changed, and then that needs to be seconded to approve the amendment to go on the floor to replace the first amendment. So you can either follow that procedure for the amendment, or in the past, sometimes committees have moved forward on the original motion, not passed that, and then put a new motion with different language. But of course, the committee can format it however they want. But amendment does have specific procedures.
Yeah, so the original motion was to approve this. We didn't go into specific, so that's why if he amends his motion, then it becomes specific, and you could amend the motion, if I'm understanding that correctly. So we didn't per se say dollar or anything. We just said we make a motion to approve the Veteran County Service Officer. It wasn't specific to say what it was.
I thought the motion was to discuss it.
No. Yeah,
What if
no.
I moved to withdraw my motion as an amendment?
Well, it's already been seconded, so we'll have to vote. So let's vote on the way the original motion was just to approve without specifics, which will then allow us to do it in a tranche way. So the motion on the floor, to my understanding, was to approve the Veteran County Service Officer applications, which there was a little bit of confusion because we thought it was going to discussion. So that is the motion on the floor as stated. It was seconded. All those in favor of the motion respond by saying aye. All those opposed respond by saying nay. Nay. Ms. Sylvia?
Aye.
Okay, so that motion now fails. So now I'll entertain a motion to how we want to proceed. That makes sense. So now it's open to how we want to do this. So do we want to do it in tranches? Do we want to do it one by one? That I'm going to leave up to the committee members. So you want to make the motion?
I'd like to do it one by one.
One by one. Then
I move to approve El Paso County's application request.
okay, I do have a motion on the floor to approve El Paso County's Veteran County Service Office application. Do I have a second?
Second.
I do have a second. So Dusty made, and then Jason seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Ayes have it. Yep. So six ayes, 0 nays. Got you. Well, get in there. Get in there. Okay. So that approves El Paso County. Entertain a motion to continue this process. Okay, then I would be specific with your motion and just say the next one, please. Go ahead. I have a motion on the floor, Ms. Torcio's motions to approve Hayes County. Do I have a second?
I second.
Mr. Dusty seconds. Any discussion? So I got a question for my committee members. If we're gonna go, if you know that you're gonna approve all the next ones, then I say we do that in a tranche. If there's a specific one you have questions on, because if not, we'll be here all day. I mean, I'm happy to do this, right? But as I look across my left and my right, I think we're just gonna go one by one all the way down. Now, if there's a question, then we could always amend, but I'll do it how you want to do it. Just want to make that point.
What I would like to do is sort of, it's not going to take very long to go one by one until we hit the ones that we have a discussion on.
Okay.
Which are not all of them, but some of them probably within this first 20 or
Okay.
10 even.
And
So
that's what I mean.
that's what I think. I think it would go quickly in that manner until we got to the ones where we had our, maybe a modification that we would suggest.
So you're saying after the 8? So
No, let me.
So after 11, because we all recommended those 11.
Yeah, but not in the. For example, for Cass County, my notes were to reduce Cass County from 400 to 3.
Okay.
That kind of deal.
Okay.
That's why I thought that going through.
Okay.
Some of them, I think we're all in agreement. Some of them, I think there might be a question.
Okay. Then we'll continue the process. So I got a motion and a second. All those in favor of responding, approving Hayes County, respond by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, respond by saying nay. All right, motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Motion to approve Harris County.
We have a motion on the floor by Mr. Jason to approve Harris County. I do have a second. Any discussion? All those in favor of approving Hayes County respond by saying yay.
Yay.
Harris, I'm sorry, Harris County. So all those in favor of approving Harris County respond by saying yay.
Yay.
Any nays? The motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. I'll entertain a motion for the next one.
All right, I move to approve the next two requests for Cass County for the financial assistance component, number 4, and the Housing for Texas Hero component, number 5. But my motion would be to approve each of those grants at 300,000 apiece.
Okay, I do have a motion on the floor to approve Cass County 4 and 5 in the amount of 300 versus the 800 that is before us.
It would be 600.
600. Okay, so you're doing 300 for each one.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I do have a motion on the floor to approve Cass County, line 4 and 5 on our sheet. I'm reducing it by 100 on each of those, 100,000 by each of those request amounts. Do I have a second? I do have a second by, a reluctant second by Ms. Tori. Any discussion? What is, you got discussion?
Yes, rationale. Mm-hmm.
Cass County, one section to ask for $800,000 to me was a bit much. I appreciate what they're doing out there. Do not get it twisted. But I also, I'm as concerned with getting them money as I am with getting a spread across Texas. So you were more generous. That's my only concern with that, because I had them down for 200,000 on each one. That would have given them a total of 100,000.
I understand. I looked at the two different areas of the of what they're seek. Obviously Housing for Texas Heroes is a priority, and it's a priority in this. It was one of the priorities, right, for this area, and that's an expensive. That is an expensive proposition, but I also wanted to sort of, if we were going to approve them, put them, what I viewed when looking at the grants, more in line with the averages that the other sort of grantees for Texas housing did. And I thought that 300,000 put them more closer to the other averages of the other grantees that were concentrating on Housing for Texas Heroes. And also for the financial assistance, when also sort of bringing their averages related to their targets more in line with what the other applicants in financial assistance and their targets were averaging. And so that's where those numbers came from. And I was generous because of, obviously they feel their needs are matched with those amounts, but in lowering their average, I didn't really take them down to, other averages. I gave them the benefit of the doubt that they had those needs, but I did want to bring them more in line with averages. That's basically where I was.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you bring the amount down, what is there to say that that amount is actually gonna affect the participant? Because they could keep the jobs, how they specify a certain position. what if that amount that you are suggesting, it come down, impact the veteran and not that job position?
So if we reduce funding, then it goes back to the staff and the staff will work with that grant application. Mr. Des, you can, Chairman.
You're correct, Chairman. Yes, we will reduce obviously you recommended that will go in front of the commissioners. If the commissioners so approved it at a reduced amount, we will work with the organization to adjust their budget. And one of the key things is the reduction in the awarded amount will proportionately affect the numbers to be served. So whatever the calculation is, for example, financial assistance, 400,000, they said they want to serve 158 clients. We would proportionally reduce that to match the 300,000. The same thing with the Housing for Texas Heroes.
Okay, and I understand that. I guess, let me clarify it. My concern is in bringing any amount down for any of the agencies is that, I know we have to do the 75%, correct? So if the amount were to come down, it's going to affect the numbers of veterans or clients that are being served. But I noticed that on some applications, it was very top heavy with positions. And I'm wondering, when an amount is brought down, will those positions be looked at and say, for example, let's say there's 3 and really there's only 2 positions needed to carry out that grant. So if that 400 is being considered to come down to 300, I know the numbers are of who the clients are going to be affected, but I'm wondering, where is the oversight for those positions of personnel in that grant?
Yeah, that's going to be based on the discretion of the organization. So the staff will go back to the organization and say, hey, the recommendation, and again, ours is only a recommendation. The commissioners will vote on theirs. So if the commissioners stay in line with the recommendation, then the team will go back to the organization and say, hey, this is your funding amount. What changes will you make? So it's
Okay,
going to be
thank you.
the organization to figure out what, if a position does need to go away or what that looks like. Am I correct?
Yes, Chairman, you're correct. Yes. We will assist the organization and advise them, right? Because again, you're right. And in some cases, some organizations have lost positions because of the reduced funding. I mean, we would just make recommendations for them. It's them to make that a final determination.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Chairman.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
I would like to note that, the salary and fringe percentage for Cass County, with those original amounts was only 16%. It's not like their salaries are, it's not like those grants are going predominantly for salaries in Cass County, because at their current request, it's 16% of the 400,000. So that does increase, obviously, if they keep those salary positions, probably by a quarter.
All right. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving Cass County 4 and 5 in a reduced amount of 300,000 for each line, bringing it to a total of 600, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Nay. Respond by saying nay.
Nay.
So I have 3 yays and 3 nays. The motion fails. So I entertain a motion to continue the process. Correct.
Yes.
Yeah, we don't, we can go whatever y'all want. We don't have to go in line.
That's right.
If there's another one that you want to go and look at, so we don't have to go in order. We can, whatever the committee, however the committee wants to respond. But I do need a motion to continue. Yes. Unless you're approving it,
Well,
unless the motion is as written, as presented.
I'll go ahead and move to approve counts 6, 7, and 8, B County, Montgomery County, and Polk County. Approve their grant request.
I do have a motion on the floor by Mr. Dusty to approve line 6, 7, and 8 as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
I do have a second by Mr. James. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying yay.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Leos to give us a quick recap.
All right, so this is what we have right now. This is what's been recommended. El Paso County, 285,000 for financial assistance. Hayes County, 315,000 for financial assistance. Harris County, 400,000 for non-clinical mental health. B County for 50,000 financial assistance. Montgomery County, 100,000 for financial assistance. Polk County, 235,000 for financial assistance. Joe, can we show the map, not the map, I'm sorry, the where we're at with the funding? I know we still got room, but I want the committee to be aware. Committee members, thus approved thus far is 1,385,000. So we obviously, we know we have some room to go.
All right, I understand a motion to continue the process.
I make a motion to continue the process.
Thank you, Ms. Sylvia. Do you have a specific application that you want to continue to move forward with?
One by one.
Okay.
I have a motion.
Well, what she kind of made a motion, so I want to make, that's why I'm looking at legal. So the motion, so I want to make sure your motion is to continue the process, but do you want to individually, totally get, but do you want to amend your motion to go to the next one, or? So you would have to list the county or the line item for us to continue.
To the next one. Is
Okay.
that correct?
So I will let me put it, let me see if this makes sense. So I have a motion on the floor from Miss Sylvia to approve Cameron County, line 9, as stated in the documents before you. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Yeah, as presented, yes. So I do have a second for Mr. Jason. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed?
Nay.
Motion passes with 5 yeas and 1 nay. Next motion?
I move we approve Camp County for $385,000 for Housing for Texas Heroes.
Mr. James makes a motion to approve line 10 as presented in the documents in front of you. Do I have a second? I do have a second by Ms. Torrey. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those
Aye.
opposed, nay.
Nay.
Motion passes with 5 yeas and 1 nay.
We have a request online to make sure everybody's speaking close to their mics. It might be a good time to review all approved with Mr. Leos set to this or recommended at this point.
Okay, Mr. Leos, back over to you for a recap, sir.
All right, so El Paso County for 285,000 for financial assistance. Hayes County, 315,000 for financial assistance. Harris County, 400,000 for non-clinical mental health. B County, 50,000 for financial assistance. Montgomery County, 100,000 for financial assistance. Polk County, 235,000 for financial assistance. Cameron County, 400,000 for financial assistance. Camp County, 385,000 for Housing for Texas Heroes.
All righty, committee members. We'll continue. I'll entertain a motion for the next one.
I motion for Williamson County, I'm sorry, not Williamson, Wilson County and San Patricio at the dollar amount stated.
I do have a motion by Ms. Torrey for line 11 and 12 for Wilson County and San Patricio County as presented. Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
I do have a second for Mr. Dusty. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. All right. We're gonna be here all day.
I motion line 15 through 20 as presented.
I do have a motion on the floor by Ms. Torrey to approve line 15, which is Trinity County, line 16, which is Trinity County, line 17, which is Caldwell County, line 18 is Valverde County, 19 Polk County, and 20 Willacy County as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
I do have a second by Mr. James. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed, say nay. Motion carries with 6 yeas and 0 nays. And I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Leos to do a quick recap.
So as I do the recap, Joe, can you work on the math and put it up for the committee? And I will start from the very beginning again. El Paso County, 285,000 financial assistance. Hayes County, 315,000 financial assistance. Harris County, 400,000 non-clinical mental health. B County, 50,000 financial assistance. Montgomery County, 100,000 financial assistance. Polk County, 235,000 financial assistance. Cameron County, 400,000 financial assistance. Camp County, 385,000 Housing for Texas Heroes. Wilson County, 214,000 financial assistance. San Patricio County, 100,000 financial assistance. Trinity County, 189,000 financial assistance. Trinity County, 100,000, Housing for Texas Heroes. Caldwell County, 100,000.
I'd like to make a motion
That's good.
Okay. Do we have any other?
Just a point of information, I heard a in progress, what? The Zoom. Okay. We're good.
Do we have any other motions?
I'd like to make a motion. I'd like to make a motion
Go ahead, ma'am.
to approve. Give me a second. Number 13, Hidalgo County for 400,000.
Oh, okay. I do got a motion for Ms. Sylvia to approve Hidalgo County line 13 as presented.
That was approved.
Hold on. Let me give me 1 second. If we could bring her on the screen so she can make that motion again, please.
Okay.
No, but up here on our screen. Yeah. So give us 1 second. There you go, Ms. Sylvia. There you are. Can you restate your motion for the record, please?
Yes, I'd like to make the motion to approve Hidalgo County for $400,000.
Ms. Sylvia does make a motion to recommend line 13 Hidalgo County as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second from Mr. Jason? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? You had discussion? No. All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 5 yeas and 1 nay.
Motion to approve Bell County at 400,000.
We do have a motion on the floor from Mr. Jason to approve line 14 Bell County as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second from Ms. Torrey? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. We're gonna do a quick recap to see where we are number-wise.
Point of order, sorry. Sometimes it seems that Ms. Hernandez online doesn't get a chance to say aye. So if we can just make sure she gets her aye in and isn't muted during the voting process.
And I think that happened this last time, so aye.
Okay.
All right, I'm calling the staff to show us how much money is remaining because it appears that we have. Again, we're at $4,012,000. We have 4,870,000. So that would do a quick math in my head.
You're gonna do public math?
What? 800.
800, yeah.
Something.
Yep.
All right. 800. Yeah, there's $858,000 remaining, if I did my math right.
I make a motion that we approve Williamson County for the amount requested.
24. I do have a motion on the floor from Mr. James to approve line 24, Williamson County, in the amount as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
I do have a second from Mr. Jason. Any discussion? Any discussion?
Well, We have not voted on Cass County.
Correct.
And the motion for a reduced, my motion failed. Williamson County will necessarily kind of reduce money available if it was the committee's intention to provide Cass County with full funding because there wouldn't be any, those particular counties were higher, ranked by all members. Just a point that I would make. That's ends my discussion. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving line 24, Williamson County as presented, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Ms. Sylvia?
Aye.
Although those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays.
I'd like to make the motion to approve line item 23, Hidalgo County, for 400,000 for non-clinical mental health.
So I do have a motion on the floor. So she already made the motion, so I got to continue. So I do have a motion. Do I have a second? Do I have a second?
You know what totals we're working with.
Yep. So I do not have a second. So motion fails because I don't have a second.
The motion, point of order, the motion, it has not failed.
But if I don't have a second, I can't move forward, right?
You can't move forward. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's not, it could be remade.
Okay. So Ms. Silva, give us a second because I think the concern for the committee members is we need to see what dollar amount.
Okay.
Show the money. Currently, we have, we're at 4,312,000. Again, the funding per program was, for this one, is 4,870,000. We have 558,000 remaining.
Okay, do you want to make your motion again, Ms. Sylvia?
All right. I'd like to make the motion that line item 23 for Hidalgo County be approved for $400,000.
I do have a motion on the floor for Ms. Sylvia for line item 23, Hidalgo County, and the amount as presented. Do I have a second? I'll second the motion. Any discussion? Any discussion?
My only concern with that is Cass County had more of us say yes. And we still haven't voted on them for a total. So we need.
We need to go back and do a total for them.
Okay, so I do have the motion on the floor. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving Hidalgo County, line 23 as presented, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
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 Motion fails with 1 yea and 5 nays.
I like
Nope,
that.
we got it.
500,
500,000, I'm sorry, 558,000.
Just make your motion the way.
Motion to approve Cass County financial assistance at 250,000, and also Cass County Housing for Texas Heroes at 250,000.
I do have a motion on the floor for Mr. Jason for line 4 in a reduced amount of 250,000, and line 5 in a reduced amount of 250,000 for Cass County. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Chori seconds. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. I'm going to turn it to Mr. Leos to give us a recap of where we are. Please.
All right, so starting at the very beginning, El Paso County, 285,000 financial assistance. Hayes County, 315,000 financial assistance. Harris County, 400,000 non-clinical mental health. Cass County, 250,000 financial assistance. Cass County, 250,000 Housing for Texas Heroes. B County, 50,000 financial assistance. Montgomery County, 100,000 financial assistance. Polk County, 235,000 financial assistance. Cameron County, 400,000 financial assistance. Camp County, 385,000 Housing for Texas Heroes. Wilson County, 214,000 financial assistance. San Patricio County, 100,000 financial assistance. Hidalgo County, 400,000 Housing for Texas Heroes. Bell County, 400,000 financial assistance. Trinity County, 189,000 financial assistance. Trinity County, 100,000 Housing for Texas Heroes. Caldwell County, 100,000 financial assistance. Malverde County, 89,000 transportation services. Polk County, 100,000 Housing for Texas Heroes. Willacy County, 150,000 financial assistance. And Williamson County, 300,000 for financial assistance. The grand total for that is currently at 4,812,000. Again, the amount is, we have 58,000 remaining.
And we leave it as a surplus?
Yeah, yes. We can, and then we can move it if we need to others. So, okay. So I'll entertain a motion to approve the FY27 Veteran County Service Officer grant recommendations made by the committee to take to the commission for their approval. Is there a second?
I second it.
I do have a second by Mr. James. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. The remaining applications will move forward to the commissioners as non-recommended. And at this time, we will take our lunch break and we will return.
Sure.
It's time. It's early. We're gonna,
10:30. You want to take
yeah, we're gonna take a 10-minute break, then come back. Not lunch. It's a little early for lunch. We'll take a 10-minute break and we will resume. What?
That's my kind of lunch. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, 20 minutes. Yeah. So we'll return at 10:35.
35.
I'd like to bring up our chief counsel back up to provide a few remarks.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I just wanted to go over a few of the rules to kind of help things go more smoothly. So when you're making a motion, it needs to be specific. So an example would be, I move to approve X grant for Y amount of dollars. And that way, the motion, it's clear what's been approved or what hasn't been approved. Also, when someone seconds a motion, it does not mean that they are going to be voting yay on the motion. It simply means that they agree that it should be brought, the motion should be brought for consideration or vote before the committee. If you want to table something for later, you can move to lay something on the table and then bring it back with the exact same wording. So you'd say, I move to lay on the table the motion of whatever it was. And then if it's seconded and everyone, it's approved by majority vote, it will then be placed aside. And then later on, you can move to bring it off the table and reconsider it. So those are just some things that can help move things along. Also for Ms. Hernandez, who's on Zoom, if you could unmute as soon as sort of the voting process starts, just to kind of help this move along more quickly, that could be helpful so that we can get your yays or nays as quickly as possible. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate that. Okay. So next agenda item is the discussion on actions on the recommendation to the commission for FY27 Veterans Treatment Court grants. The next agenda item is the discussion and action on the recommendations to the commission for the FY27 Veteran Treatment Court grants. I just said that. Sorry, I read that twice. At this time, we will open the floor to comments regarding Veteran Treatment Court application. Mr. Leos, do we have any Veteran Treatment Court comments in the room today?
Mr. Chair, we do. Before we bring them up, I want to make a comment. We had a remaining $58,000 from the Veterans County Service Officer. That funding, that money will come over to the VTC. So I'll ask the staff to make the adjustment. So those 58,000 will go to the VTC. And that is the only place that money will go. So we'll leave it here if it's not used. All right. So yes, we have public comments. I will ask our communications coordinator, Nietzsche, to call the first speaker, and she will also keep time.
Thank you, Mr. Leos. For the first one, I will call Judge Patricia Baca for El Paso Veterans Treatment Court.
All right. Good morning, and thank you for allowing me to speak this morning. My name is Judge Patricia Baca, and I have the honor of presiding over the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court. Today with me, I have our compliance officer, Paul Armendariz, and our counselor, Frank Chavez. This grant helps us fund 3 positions. This is an extremely important grant for El Paso because it helps us continue to help our veterans in our community. El Paso is home to one of the largest installation bases, Fort Bliss, Texas, with a population of approximately over 175,000. The Veterans Treatment Court provides a range of services to our participants who enter the criminal justice system by being arrested with either a misdemeanor or a felony charge, and who suffer from substance abuse and/or mental health. In order to ensure that we help our veterans succeed not only during the program, but after they graduate, the 3 positions that we are requesting are essential part of our court. Our compliance officer, Paul Armendariz, is actually a veteran himself. As a compliance officer, he conducts home visits, and they're usually surprise visits on non-traditional hours and holidays. They conduct random urinalysis and breath analysis at the veteran's home. They inspect the home to ensure that the basic necessities are being met, that the veteran has water, gas, electricity, food, furniture. We want to make sure that before we ask them for anything in the treatment court, that we are meeting their basic needs. They establish rapport with the participants as well. Our counselor, Frank Chavez, addresses the mental health issues by providing counseling and therapy. He also goes to do some home visits at the veterans' home. He does crisis management. He's available on non-traditional hours and holidays to answer calls and show up in crisis. And he also makes contact with our veterans after graduation to make sure that they're doing okay. Our probation officer, Alex Alvarado, is not with us today, but she also does home visits. She's extremely important as a female to our female veterans that are part of our program. She also does urinalysis and breath analysis. She communicates on a daily basis with the veterans and reminds them of court. She's a liaison between the court and the veteran, sets up appointments for drug patches, and makes sure that they're in compliance with their terms and conditions of probation, as well as the PTI program. The Veteran Treatment Court also makes referrals to other organizations to help our veterans succeed. We try to make sure that the veterans are back on the right track, and in doing so, we make sure that once they graduate, their case, their criminal case, is either dismissed, expunged, or even have early termination from probation upon graduation. This program gives veterans a second chance to start over, but we cannot do this without your funding. Lastly, I want to read a very small part from one of our veterans' essays that he read during graduation. It illustrates the importance of this grant. And he reads, "When I started, I was at the lowest point of my life and literally fighting for my existence. Truth is, I didn't have the will or desire to live, and though I hid it, my desire to drink, get high, was at the highest it had ever been and ever will be. I began to reconcile and heal. Many of the people who were initially my sworn enemies became my saving grace, primarily the compliance officer. To be honest, they don't even know it, but their knowing saved my life many times. I would like to take a moment of my time to thank everyone here for giving me another chance at life. As you can see, we're making a difference in veterans' lives. I ask for your continued support by funding us so that we can continue to serve our veterans. Thank you for everything you do for our veterans, and thank you for your time."
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Baca. I now call Judge Laura Barker of the Williamson County Veteran Treatment Court.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Laura Barker. I am the presiding judge of Williamson County Court at Law Number 2 in the Veterans Treatment Court. With me today, I have my program manager, Aaron Lucas. I just want to start off by saying I'm very grateful for the grant money we receive. We would not be able to do as much as we do with the funding that we receive from the Texas Veterans Commission. The court has been in existence since 2015, and I just want you to know the number of veterans that we've been able to serve. So since its existence, there have been a total of 342 participants in the program, 277 graduates, and then currently right now we have 32 active participants. And then we have a number that are on our waiting list. And I say waiting list, it's not because they can't come into the program, but it's because they have applied, they need to do assessment, so they're in the process of coming in. And sometimes that may mean that they're waiting on certain things, meaning their DD-214 or some other items as well. But we do have some that are waiting to come in. And we do take felonies and misdemeanors as well. So I want to tell you some things that we are looking to do. Last year, our team went through and we received SAMHSA training, which was for being trauma responsive. And so we've made a lot of changes to our court. There are some issues that we're having right now with the Veterans Administration as far as treatment. So with our grant application that we just applied for, we asked for additional money for treatment. And so that's for substance, mental health treatment, and there's a reason for that. We actually, doing that SAMHSA training last year, we were offered to partner with Dr. Meyer, who does a lot of training for the Veterans Administration, for PTSD, for veterans, all throughout without the state and through the nation, actually, for these types of things. And so he offered to give us free training to do a national research study for veterans, and it's never been done through a veterans court. And I'm going to let Erin kind of tell you what that's about, but it's extensive treatment that we have to do with our veterans. I'm going to let her tell you what that's about.
Thank you. First off, as a combat veteran, thank you guys for what you're doing today. I know it does help out a lot of our veterans that are out there. So what we're doing with Dr. Meyer is, like Judge Barker said, something that has not ever been done nationally. We're currently the only veterans court that is doing this research project. We are looking to address the difference between simple PTSD, complex PTSD, and substance use. We have certain treatment modalities that are set up that we are trying to identify what is the best way to reduce recidivism, to help our veterans out so that we don't see them back in our courts, that we see them successfully out in the community and that they're going forward and, living their best life. So within those things, we're looking at contracting outside the VA. We have EMDR, we have DBT skills groups, and we are looking to also do seeking safety as well within the community. Currently, we do have some issues with the VA. They are, working their best and doing with what they have. But we do see that sometimes their treatment is a month, month and a half, 2 months out that we're trying to get those individuals in. We need to get them seen as soon as possible. A lot of the people that we work with are in crisis situations. They don't have housing. They haven't addressed their mental health needs. They're using substances. So with asking for this grant, what we're trying to do is shorten that amount of time, get them into treatment sooner so we can get them going on the right track and into a better spot.
See, she said that so much better than I could because that's what she does. So that's why I brought her along to tell you that. So I'm just very honored to be here, and I thank you so much. I just wanted to explain why we were asking for more funding for treatment. So thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge Barker. I now call Brent Doro of the Ellis County Veterans Treatment Court.
Good morning, all, and thank you for the opportunity to speak on behalf of the veterans of Ellis County today. I don't think I'll need the full 5 minutes. Your spreadsheet clearly illustrated the need for veteran services and the associated costs of that. Since the birth of our court just a couple years ago, we hit the ground running as fast as we could, and our goal has gone from the initial number of 15 veterans per year to 45 for our current year. And in our most recent request that's pending, we've requested financial support again to increase our ability to serve 50 veterans and families within our community. We have and will continue to not only reach but beat our goals as we've done every year thus far. So know that not only do we appreciate the TVC funding, we honor it by keeping our word as written in our grant request. When I started this court, I had 30 years of Marine Corps experience and 0 minutes of specialty court experience. So I've been building this bridge while crossing it, and I couldn't do this without the funding from TVC or the great folks that serve under their banner. While building that bridge has been difficult, it's so very needed, as illustrated by the number of requests that you all get every year, because it serves as a stable foundation between their honorable service and today. And the piece in between there is when they had an uncharacteristic and unfortunate incident, and they're trying to get their life back on track. So that's where we come in, and what you fund is the ability for us to assist in that process. So that's never lost on me. You all are funding the bridges all across Texas for our warriors. In your daily work, which you probably do not receive the praise that you should, but your daily work isn't just a job, and I know that. It's truly the difference for many veterans, and in many cases, life-saving work. I got a call last night on my way down here from a gentleman that served in Vietnam that's in our program, and he was on the edge. He really was, and luckily we had the staff that's funded by this grant to be there for him in his most vulnerable time of need. So, and this happens often. I mean, everybody that's sitting in here could probably tell you a similar story. Mine are no different. But the work that we do together truly matters. And we appreciate you and humbly request your continued support. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Leos. That is all I have on my list who have signed up.
All right, thank you, Nietzsche. Pending any questions, I hand this meeting back to the chair.
Thank you, Mr. Leos. Are there any committee members who have a conflict of interest with any of the veteran treatment court applications being considered for funding? Okay, not seeing any. There are 23 eligible VTC applications this year requesting $5,814,000 based on the 5-year average of 10.6, the amount of 3.71 million for the committee to recommend. Do we change that a little bit? I'm getting updated numbers. Please hold. That's why you don't do public math. So the number, go ahead.
All right, so the new number, again, we moved the 58,000 from the Veterans County Service Officer across. So the new number is
It is updated on the sheet, sir.
4,839,000.
So small, just helping her out. Okay. Like, there we go. There you go, Irv.
I'm not that blind. Okay, yes, 4,839,000.
Okay, thank you. Based on the committee members' members' rankings, 10 of the application were unanimously recommended. 11 applications were recommended by 7 of 8 members. 2 applications were recommended by 6 of 8 members. Are there any comments or discussions before giving the committee time to review the Veteran Treatment Court documentation? Okay. So we'll take a few minutes to review the documentation. So y'all need 5 minutes or y'all ready to?
I think I might make a comment.
Okay.
In looking at the veteran, I intend to make some motions more in terms of, global, I think, and sort of multiple applications. But some of what I looked at in these is kind of what seems to be like the average cost per client in these treatment courts. And some of the applicants have higher average cost per client, while most of them sort of fit in a range, a similar range. And it's those that are outliers that I might.
Hold on. We need to get closer to the mic.
I look at these treatment court applications and they have a sort of a common average of cost per client. Some of them are outliers.
Yep.
I'm anticipating what I want to do is make a motion that sort of includes more like the tranche. I want all these to be approved, but then I want to reserve what I view as some outliers for maybe later discussion. That's the only comment I have.
Okay. We're going to roll right into this. So committee members, is there a motion to recommend applications for funding? Ms. Story makes a recommendation to line item 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm sorry. So Ms. Story makes a motion to recommend line 2, Collin County Misdemeanor Court, line 3, Bear County Commissioners Court. And what was it? Just those two? And then line 4, Comal County. And the amounts presented. Do I have a second? Second. Mr. James makes the second. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor of approving line 2, 3, and 4, respond by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed, say nay.
Nay.
I have, motion passes with 5 yeas and 1 nay.
I move to approve, number 1, Collin County, for $400,000.
I do have a motion for Mr. Dusty to approve line 1, Collin County, in the amount presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
I do have a second from Mr. Jason. Any discussion?
Microphone.
Yeah, you gotta. Nope. You like talking into the mic. Go ahead.
My discussion point is 400,000 it is reasonable for that area. However, and this is for all of them. This statement is for all of them. I'm very much let's spread the money. So if we can do a 300,000 on some of the others that are asking for 400,000, I would appreciate that. That way we can fund more across the state. But this one, great, no problem, because it's number 1 on the list. Everybody agreed with it.
Okay. Any other discussion? All those in favor of approving line 1, Collin County, and the amount presented, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, say nay. Motion passes with,
Hang on, I think Sylvia was muted.
no, I caught her.
No, she just turned off her.
Yeah, so she said
Okay,
aye.
just turn it on and off. Okay, it's fine.
Yeah.
When I looked up,
I got it.
she was
I
muted.
got you. So motion passes with 6 ayes and 0 nays. Okay, let's continue to go. So, well, Mr. Leos, do you want to give us a recap of where we are?
Okay, here's a recap from the very top. Collin County, these are all for Veterans Treatment Court. Collin County, 400,000. Collin County Misdemeanor Court, 100,000. Bexar County Commissioners Court, 269,000. Comel County, 235,000.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion to recommend applications for funding.
I move that we approve Dallas County for 300,000.
I do have a motion on the floor from Mr. James to approve line 5, Collin County, at a reduced amount of 300,000.
I think it was
Dallas. Dallas. What did I say? All right, let me restate that. So I do have a motion for Mr. James to approve line 5, Dallas County, in a reduced amount of 300,000.
Second.
I do have a second by Ms. Torrey. Any discussion?
Can I ask the rationale for suggesting the reduction?
I believe that they can serve the same amount with 300,000 rather than the 400,000, which would also free up 100,000 for somebody else.
Any further discussion? Any further discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays.
I motion lines 8 and 9 at the current funding listed.
I do have a motion on the floor for Ms. Torrey. Line 8, Galveston County, and line 9, Bell County, at the amounts presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second for Mr. Jason? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. Mr. Leos, can you provide a quick recap to our members?
All right, recapping again, starting from the top. Collin County, 400,000. Collin County Misdemeanor Court, 100,000. Bexar County Commissioners Court, 269,000. Comal County, 235,000. Dallas County, 300,000. Galveston County, 176,000. And Bell County, 140,000. And that leaves, current recommended is 1,620,000, leaving 3,219,000.
We open for motions again?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Let's roll.
I motion to approve 11, 12, and 13 at the current listed.
So I have a motion for Ms. Torrey for line 11, Guadalupe County, line 12, Travis County, and line 13, Potter County, and the amounts presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second for Mr. Jason? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays.
I move to approve line 7, Denton County for the amount requested.
I do have a motion on the floor for Mr. Jason to approve line 7, Denton County, on the amount presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second for Ms. Torrey? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Okay, I motion line 15 at the current funding.
Ms. Torrey makes a recommendation, line 15, Tarrant County, and the amount presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Mr. James, second. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. Mr. Leos, will you please give us a recap?
All right, again, starting from the top, Collin County, 400,000. Collin County Misdemeanor Court, 100,000. Bexar County Commissioners Court, 269,000. Comal County, 235,000. Dallas County, 300,000. Denton County, 327,000. Galveston County, 176,000. Bell County, 140,000. Guadalupe County, 110,000. Travis County, 50,000. Potter County, 81,000. And Tarrant County, 397,000, for the total of waiting on the staff to project it here. Thus far recommended is 2,585,000, remaining 2,254,000.
I make a motion to approve line 16, line 17, and line 18 as requested.
I do have a motion on the floor from Mr. James for line 16, the city of Dallas, line 17, McLennan County, and line 18, Williamson County, in the amounts presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second for Mr. Jason? Any discussion? Any discussion?
McClendon County was one of those that sort of had an outlier of per cost per client that sort of eclipsed everyone else's averages. And I wouldn't support the motion for them at this time based on that, since it's included within the three.
Okay. Any other discussion?
From the research I saw for that county, that's actually not, it's an outlier, but it's not. For McLennan County, the research that I did, that amount per client, yes, it's outside of the standard spectrum, but for that region, doing the research on it, that it was not that unusual. It's the only way I can, I'm not justifying their amount. I'm just saying it's an outlier, but it's not that far outside of the realm.
Okay, thank you. Any other discussion? All right, all those in favor of approving line 16, City of Dallas, 17, McLennan County, and 18, Williamson County, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
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 Nay. Motion fails with 3 yeas and 3 nays.
I make a motion to approve lines 16 and 18 as printed.
Do I have a motion on the floor for Mr. James to approve line 16, City of Dallas, line 18, Williamson County, as presented? Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second for Ms. Jory? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. I make a motion to approve Bear County Misdemeanor Veterans Treatment Court, line 6, as presented.
I second.
I do have a second from Mr. Dusty. I heard you. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. We're gonna do Mr. Leos, would you please recap where we are, please?
All right, again, starting from the top, Collin County, 400,000. Collin County Misdemeanor Court, 100,000. Bexar County Commissioners Court, 269,000. Comal County, 235,000. Dallas County, 300,000. Bexar County Misdemeanor Veterans Treatment Court, 400,000. Denton County, 327,000. Galveston County, 176,000. Bell County, 140,000. Guadalupe County, 110,000. Travis County, 50,000. Potter County, 81,000. Tarrant County, 397,000. City of Dallas, 53,000. And Williamson County, 360,000. And that brings us up to, the recommended amount is 3,398,000, and remaining is 1,441,000.
A point of clarification on those numbers. Mr. Anna, is that including that roll-up of that 58 that's on Veteran County Service? So did we include that 58 or is it those two numbers combined? Does that make sense?
The amount authorized was adjusted by Mr. Osborne to include the 58.
Okay. Then should that Veteran County be at zero? Just because it
During the
looks
next
like,
break, I will adjust VSO,
Okay,
but
perfect.
VTC is correct, sir.
okay, thanks. Okay.
All right, I move to approve line item 10, El Paso County, for the amount requested.
Mr. Dusty makes a motion to approve line item 10, El Paso County as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second from Mr. Jason? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor, respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays.
I move to approve line item 14, Webb County, for the amount requested.
I do have a motion from Mr. Jason to approve line 14, Webb County as presented. Do I have a second? Second. I'll second. Any discussion?
Again, this was a line item that sort of had an outlier of cost per client. I felt that I was more inclined to approve this if it would have been reduced possibly to 300,000.
Okay. Thank you. Any other discussion?
I agree with him. This
Ms. Seals, because she's not close to the mic, does agree with Mr. Dusty on the end. I got to keep our legal over here. She keeps looking at me. So I got to make sure we keep it everybody can hear. All right. So I do have a motion on the floor to approve. Any other discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye. All those opposed say nay. Nay.
Nay.
Motion fails with 0 yeas and 6 nays.
I move to approve line item 14.
Sorry, as a
What?
point of order, did we get Ms. Hernandez nay, yay or nay on that last one?
It was a nay. I got it. Yep. Okay, go ahead. Sorry, Mr. James.
I move to approve line item 14, Webb County, with the adjusted amount requested to 300,000.
I do have a motion on the floor by Mr. Jason to approve line 14, Webb County, in the amount of 300,000. Do I have a second?
Second.
Ms. Torrey seconds. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Are we at motion again?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes, please.
I motion line 17, McLennan County at 100,000.
I do have a motion on the floor to approve line 17, McClendon County, at a reduced amount of 100,000. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second by Mr. Jason? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 Any nays respond by saying nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. Mr. Les, can you please recap where we are?
All right, again, starting from the very top, Collin County, 400,000. Collin County Misdemeanor Court, 100,000. Bexar County Commissioners Court, 269,000. Comal County, $235,000. Dallas County, $300,000. Bexar County Misdemeanor Veterans Treatment Court, $400,000. Denton County, $327,000. Galveston County, $176,000. Bell County, $140,000. El Paso County, $400,000. Guadalupe County, $110,000. Travis County, $50,000. Potter County, $81,000. Webb County, $300,000. Tarrant County, $397,000. City of Dallas, $53,000. McLennan County, $100,000. And Williamson County, $360,000. And that puts us at recommended amount, $4,198,000. Remaining, $641,000.
We're back. We're back.
Sorry, what was that total again?
Again, recommended 4,198,000, remaining 641,000.
All right, I would like to move, I move to approve, line 19, Montgomery County, line 20, Nueces County, and line 21, Tom Green County, in the amounts requested.
I do have a motion on the floor from Mr. Dusty to approve line 19 Montgomery County, line 20 Nueces County, and 21 Tom Green County in the amounts presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
I do have a second from Mr. Jason. Any discussion?
I cannot do all three of them. The Tom Green County, I've got specific notes on them that I know.
Okay, any other discussion? Sorry, go ahead.
Not for full amount.
Okay. Any other discussion? Okay, all those in favor of all those in favor respond by saying aye. All those opposed say nay. Nay.
Nay.
Nay.
Motion fails with 6 yeas and 0 nays.
I'm gonna try a new motion.
Okay.
Give
I'm
me
gonna
one second.
move to approve line item 19, Montgomery County.
Hold on, Dusty.
Hold on one second.
Dusty.
Dusty, hold on one second.
Sorry, what happened?
Hold on.
I think,
One
oh,
second.
sorry.
Go ahead.
Point of order, I just think you said the motion fails with 6 yays and 0 nays, but I think it was 0 yays and 6 nays. Is that?
I think that's what, or was, okay, so the motion, let me clarify the record. So the motion fails with 0 ayes, so 0 yays and 6 nays. Is that what you're gonna say?
Yes.
Okay, thanks. That's what I thought, but it's sorry. Okay, go ahead, Mr. Dusty.
Thank you. I move to approve.
You got to be closer to the mic, sir.
Okay.
Mr. Palladino's back there. He's gonna get you.
Third time's a charm. Motion to approve, line 19, Montgomery County, line 20, Nueces County, in the amounts requested.
Okay, so repeat your motion. Sorry, but that was my apologies.
I move to approve, line 19, Montgomery County, and line 20, Nueces County,
Okay.
in the amounts requested.
Okay. Mr. Dusty has made a motion to approve line 19 Montgomery County and line 20 Nueces County as presented. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second from Mr. Jason? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 6 yeas and 0 nays. Mr. Lester, please give us a quick recap.
A quick recap just for the last two was Montgomery County for 261,000 and Nueces County for 200,000. So it adds up to the total recommended thus far is 4,659,000, which remaining is 180,000.
Okay. And I will remind my committee members to please, I'll just see how close I am to the mic. Please make sure that you are close to the mic so Mr. P in the back doesn't get me later. For all those online. Okay.
Okay, we've got 180.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I motion for Ellis County, 180.
Ms. Story does make a motion for line 22, Ellis County at a reduced amount of 180,000. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have a second for Mr. Jason? Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. Mr. Lester, please give us a recap.
All right, a recap, and I'll start from very top. Collin County, 400,000. Collin County Misdemeanors Court, 100,000. Bexar County Commissioners Court, 269,000. Comal County, 235,000. Dallas County, 300,000. Bexar County Misdemeanor Veterans Treatment Court, 400,000. Denton County, 327,000. Galveston County, 176,000. Bell County, 140,000. El Paso County, 400,000. Guadalupe County, 110,000. Travis County, 50,000. Potter County, 81,000. Webb County, 300,000. Tarrant County, 397,000. City of Dallas, 53,000. McLennan County, 100,000. Williamson County, 360,000. Montgomery County, 261,000. Nueces County, 200,000. And Ellis County, 180,000. And the total recommended for the Veterans Treatment Court is 4,839,000, which leaves 0 remaining.
Thank you, Mr. Leos. I would like to entertain a motion to approve the FY27 Veterans Treatment Court grant recommendation made by the committee to take to the commission for their approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Mr. James, second. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 Aye. All those opposed say nay. Motion passes with 6 yeas and 0 nays. The remaining applicants will move forward to the commissioners as non-recommended. At this time, right? We're done. So at this time, I will entertain a motion to recess for the day and reconvene tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Do I have a second?
I second.
I was like, what are y'all doing? Mr. Dusty seconds. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? All those in favor respond by saying aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes 6 yeas and 0 nays, and we will see you all tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.
We just leave all our paperwork here.
Joe, where's Nietzsche at?
Now, we can take our papers to the